Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of Gamer Guardians Podcast. I'm your host, Danny Martinez, and today we're trying out a new setup, and we got Boneless Bones, Kevin.
What's going on, guys? Boneless Bones here.
Continue.
Oh, shit. Back at
You're,
it again
there
with
you go.
another
There you
video.
go.
Sorry, I haven't
Been
done
a
this
while
in
since he's been back at it
I
again.
know, right?
Hold on. Let me try this intro again. What's going on, guys? It's your man Boneless Bones back at it again with another video, and we're here with these lovely people. What's going on, guys?
Yeah. Yeah, and then,
Hey,
Sober Guardian,
everybody.
Danny. There you go.
See,
So yeah, we got we're trying out some new sound and video stuff right now. Just signed up for this new service. I was just messing around with it for a bit. So on top of that, yes, we haven't done an episode in the past. What was it? 2 weeks, 3 weeks? I think it has been.
something like that.
Yeah, we're slowing down on content right now, just mostly because I don't want to just throw out anything anymore. I kind of just want to focus more on some quality stuff. So I've been planning out some things. I've mentioned this a couple times on the episodes that we're working on a content change type of stuff. So that's still in the works. That's not something that's coming out soon. But yeah, we're gonna slow down with content just for a little bit, but we'll still be around. And today we're gonna be talking about a few things. But since we haven't been around for a while, what have we been playing lately? Ooh, that's loud. Danny.
I've been playing a lot of Destiny. Caught up on the light levels since I can do some of the content I've never seen before, which is kind of fun. And also been playing a lot of Multiverse, which is really fun.
Multiversus.
Actually, yeah, Multiversus.
Yep.
Multiversus is a Madness DC game, and that's really fun. They're doing a great job with that. They're doing like it's because that last one.
We'll touch on that later. Don't get too deep into it yet. We're gonna talk about that today.
That's mostly what I've been playing. Just pretty much it, actually. I didn't try Stray. I didn't try anything else.
Oh yeah, Stray.
It's a little bit, to me, it just seems a little dry right now, so I'm just waiting for some interesting stuff to come out.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Kevin?
Believe it or not, I've been playing the Octopath game on the
Oh,
mobile.
Octopath
I didn't even know
Traveler?
that. Yeah, they have it on mobile. I've beaten some of the stories in Octopath, like some of the character stories.
Yeah.
And what is it? Live Evil, something like that came out, and I was looking at that too, and I was like, damn, it's just like Octopath. But well, the art style is just like it. I've been playing the mobile Octopath. I've been playing Grand Summoning on mobile. I've been really into Fire Emblem Three Hopes, the Moso game. I, I've been venturing, and then I went back to playing my usual fighting games to find stuff out. But it's looking good. It's looking good, man. And Evo is like literally this tomorrow.
Ooh. Oh.
Yeah, so I'm excited for news.
Where is it at?
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas?
Yeah, every year.
Yeah.
Except for I think 2020 because of COVID.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But 2021 they did it online, didn't they?
Yeah, they did it online, and it was okay, but it's not the same as being there. Like I'm excited for next year because next year I already planned that I was gonna go for like the whole weekend.
Oh, nice. Yo, keep me informed on that shit. I'll go with you.
Definitely. I'm gonna fly out most likely Thursday, and then go like just enjoy the event like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm probably even gonna take Monday off so that I could just like sleep in. It's gonna be tiring.
Ignore the countdown thing. I forgot to hit record on the actual thing.
I got scared. I was like, "Are we about to? Am I fine?"
Actually, there should be something. That would be funny. I'd be like talking too much. 5, 4, 3, 2. I use that for Danny especially.
Just give it like a 10-minute counter. He's just like, he still somehow makes it like 15 minutes. I'm like, all right, Dan, I definitely know. I'm well informed now.
Well informed, and then some. All right, so yeah, for me, Danny mentioned Stray, so I played Stray. I fucking love that game. It's super short. It's super worth like. It's I guess it's. I wouldn't say it's worth $30. I think that's how much it costs right now, but it's free for like the PlayStation Premium subscribers. I think it is. So I got to play for free, which is nice. and it's really good, really good game. Like if you like something super chill, really super easy platformer, super linear, just like it's just easy shit. But like it had a really good story, and the cat is super charming along with some of the characters.
I've seen
Really good.
as soon as like the week that you played Stray and you're like, oh yeah, I'm playing Stray.
Yeah,
I seen like a mod for it and I was like, I'm not gonna send it
Garfield.
to
I saw Garfield.
I seen something else. It was some cat, but it
Uh,
had me dying. I was like, bro, the game came out like
how
3 days ago.
how
How are we
much you want to
already
bet they're
here?
gonna have like a Beerus one? They'll have like Beerus and like just I don't know. They'll have a bunch of stuff. I'm sure.
Let's beat us.
Beerus for Beerus. Beerus.
Beerus? The
Beerus.
American
Why I have
yo,
to
let me
say it
get
in
a
English?
Beerus.
Seriously?
Yes, Beerus. Beerus?
Beerus.
I don't know who beat us. I don't know.
Beerus.
Say
Dragon
it
Ball.
up.
Dragon Ball Super.
Who's Beerus again?
Wow.
Oh, okay. I know you're talking about that.
So yeah.
The
So
god.
anyways, yeah, the god. So yeah, I played Stray. Fun game. Beat it. It's you could beat it in like 5-6 hours.
Oh, okay.
On top of that, since I signed up for the PlayStation Plus Premium, since it was kind of worth it, I only had to pay like $50 to pay for like the rest of the year. It was like a prorated thing or whatever you call it. So
They got
so it's
prorated,
cheaper.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's cheaper. So I just signed up for it. I was like, fuck it, I'll give it a try. So there's a bunch of other free stuff that I played, and one of them was John Wick Hex. And I was telling
The
Danny to try to
RPG.
play it. It's not an RPG. It's like a strategy. Think of it like XCOM.
Oh, it's the strategy John Wick game.
Yeah.
I've been looking at it and I've been waiting for
Oh,
people to be like, oh, it's so fucking good.
it's good.
That-
It's very good. It's super simple, and yet it can still be really complex at the same time, depending on like how you want to approach things. Um,
Is it
which
like a
ones?
rock paper scissors thing? Like I seen like the gun, the fist, and the chop or something like that.
No. Each thing has its own benefit, has its own pros and cons. Like like the way you, just to backtrack, you play as John Wick, obviously. You go through. I think it takes in place in between 2 and 3 or 1 and 2. It takes in between one of the two movies. Um, and so you control John Wick like in a specific path that the game will allow. And let's say as soon as you run into an enemy, time kind of freezes for a second, and you get an opportunity to kind of think of what it is you're going to do next. So you can either like do a takedown, you could do like a punch kick combo thing, you could throw your gun, you could shoot them, of course, or you can run or crouch or do just a bunch of different things. And each and every single action takes up a little bit of time in your like time meter. So like let's say you want to do a takedown, but that's going to take like point 2 seconds. So versus you want to shoot a gun, that's going to take 0.4 seconds. So like you have
But
to
then
like pick and choose what'll be best for that situation. But on top of that, if the enemy sees you and does actions as well, it'll show on their little time bar, and it'll tell you what they plan to do is. So you kind of have to weigh those pros and cons of what's faster for you, what you're willing to like, if you're willing to take the hit because maybe the enemy acted before you did. So their time thing is gonna like go first. Their action's gonna go first before John Wick's action goes first, and you kind of have to like play around with like the strategy that way.
nah,
If I'm even
I
explaining
so
it
it's
that like at all that well.
no. Because the way that you're explaining it, it's like what freaking game is it? It's like like those old school RPGs that have like the faster the character, like physical fast the character is, the more turns that they can go. Like the little that it shows like all your characters in one side, like a little bar up top, and it's just like let's say fucking Jonathan has
Yeah.
like plus 30 speed. It will be like it would show him from the beginning and it would just zoom all the way to the other side of the bar and then he goes and then it goes by whoever's like faster.
Kind of that
But it
concept. Yeah.
but it's depends on what move they do. Like if you shoot
Hmm.
and like let's say shoot takes 2.9 and then like a punch kick combo takes like 1, they will go first because of the time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
there
Yeah,
there
okay.
I wouldn't really call it an RPG. Like there are some stats that you can play around with, because you gain like a currency, and then you can kind of buy certain things to kind of like change like the speed on something or the damage on something, but like nothing like too deep.
Oh, so it's like it's a grid based, right? Like there's a
Yeah,
grid and you can walk. Oh,
yeah.
okay. So yeah, it's one of those games I recently, as of like 3 years ago, just got into. Actually, no,
Mm,
like 8 years, because I've been playing the Sky, and the Sky is a giant grid based fucking RPG, and that
yeah.
game took
I
like
hesitated with
20.
Hex because I heard it was a strategy game. I hate strategy games. I hate
It's
them.
it it's annoying, but once you understand the concept, the game becomes fun.
Hmm.
Like the Gundam game, the Gundam for the PC. I've been
Hmm.
playing that like off and on, and I love the technical part of planning for that because it makes me feel like, damn, I'm actually smart. And in actuality, I just be throwing units out, and then they just like fucking hit you with a fuck you can't, go back, recharge, and then go and do it again. I'm like,
Hmm.
this is the fun part of RPG of strategy games.
Yeah. Yeah, I still look forward to what was it, Midnight Suns, because I really
Midnight
like,
Suns.
even though I hate strategy games, I really like XCOM, and those are by the makers of XCOM. So Midnight Suns will be kind of fun. You remember that tactical card based Marvel game, the
Oh,
new Marvel game that's gonna come out like I think at the end of this year, or maybe it got delayed.
yeah,
Yeah, with like the supernatural Marvel characters.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. What else have I been playing? Me and Danny been playing Destiny like crazy this whole week, pretty much like
Take a shot.
hardcore. Oh fuck, I forgot. It's been so long, I completely forgot about
No,
that.
no, 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 no. You're good. You're good. You're
God
good
damn,
because you're
no,
explaining what you're playing. I'm
no,
letting. No, 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 no. I'm letting you slide.
No,
I'm letting you
no,
slide.
no, you got a shot. I can give you a shot.
because you know what? Honestly, you should have already known that I was playing it. So there's no reason for me to even mention it.
No, because
I agree
but the
with that.
audience didn't know. That's the
Of
whole
course they
thing.
know.
God damn.
Dave, what you
So
been
I,
playing?
you
The
know,
game I can't mention.
what's funny? What's funny is that I should now I have this more of a motivation to not try to speak of the game because I have to take shots of this crap because I want to finish it. And I
Is that the
hate this
orange
stuff.
one?
This is the orange Jameson. I hate this thing.
Uh,
This tastes nasty from the last time I was drinking it with you guys.
mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not nasty. I shouldn't say. It's just super sweet. I don't like sweet drinks.
It has a medicine taste, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's definitely why you don't like it. That
yeah.
would be my best friend.
It's too sweet. Yeah. Fuck. What else? Yeah, and multiverses. So yeah, we'll talk about that later on.
But believe it or not, with multiverses, I was supposed to play it this last week, and
Play
I
that
just
game.
slept on it.
It's
I'm
free.
gonna
No
I'm gonna
excuses.
download it on Steam after the show,
Mm.
so I can have it tomorrow
Oh, and
morning.
it's cross-platform too, so we can still play.
Um,
Yep.
Oh shit! All right,
Yeah.
I gotta practice my Iron Giant butt slams.
Yeah. I've been hooked. I've been hooked on Shaggy so far. Shaggy's fun.
Oh damn!
they're
I'm
like
actually
Thelma
trying.
and Superman.
Yeah. Finn is broken,
Uh,
by the way. You will see a lot
Finn
of
is
Finn
broken.
Finn's
players.
very broken. Everybody plays Finn.
Yeah,
Finn's very broken.
and Batman is broken in the wrong way, right? All right.
Batman, no, Batman's broken on one of your ones.
No, 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 no. I mean the fact that I've seen so many Batman videos of him grappling hooking and just like offing himself, and I
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh,
oh,
jeez.
this is that. I was like, this is
So when
terrible.
you hit the grappling hook, you shoot the grappling. They shoot the grappling hook. By the time they go to if they go to hit you, every time you just dodge or double jump too, and he keeps
Well,
going past you.
I
And
guess
it does like a
the first
slingshot
topic
effect.
is multiverses, so we might as well
Multiverse.
just stick with it. So yeah, what were you saying, Danny?
They have certain like strategies. Like when Batman does his sling, his grappling hook, he grabs you, and you can dodge through it. And right when he's about to hit you, or double jump up. Double jump up makes them fling faster, but it kind of does like the slingshot effect to Batman. And he if he's low enough health, like the edge, he can kill himself.
I haven't had that
So,
problem yet because I really like his gliding whenever I try to recover, but I haven't played with him enough
yeah,
though.
that's what I'm saying. You haven't played like I got
Yeah.
like people who know how. Like I've done it a few times. Like it's
Uh,
really super easy. Like same way like Superman's punch is super easy to dodge. Like,
mm,
everybody's just caught with it if they're doing something in 2v2. But 1v1, he's horrible to play with because he's just so big and clunky, you know.
I
mhm.
feel
Like
like
that's kind of why I like the game. It's kind of changes completely depending on what what you're doing. If you're playing 1v1 or 2v2s, like
Mhm.
the play style completely different. It's kind of interesting that way.
I've seen people play Velma, and I Velma support, right?
Yeah, she's a monster. Yeah, I play
She's
with.
definitely a monster. I've seen some stuff with her, and I was like, ah, yeah, nah, it's like I want to play the game, but then I'm like, I need a weekend to play it, and then it's like I can't play it. I can play it tomorrow, but
Mhm.
after tomorrow, I'm gonna just be stuck watching Evo to like Sunday, and I'm gonna be like,
Yes, we
damn,
tried
shit.
tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow, man. Like we could play for a bit.
Yeah, I could definitely play after
Yeah.
I come back because I'm gonna step out for a bit.
Mm. Um. So okay, so clearly we like the game, at least me and Danny, because we played it. But and I'm looking
I'll
forward to
say,
it. Like I really like. I mean, because I know you're going to play it.
Uh,
yeah,
yeah, I mean
But
they've done a great job of everything, like adding a lot of detail. We were talking about it earlier, just
yeah,
from the shows and from wherever the this the respected world that it's in,
yeah,
the Batman movie, whatever, and they communicate with each other really funny, and they talk to each other really funny.
yeah. They can
And
talk
it's
to each
just
other. The animations are really well done. It seems fairly well balanced, except for Finn.
yeah,
It
that's
seems
all.
really well balanced. There's a lot of more emphasis on co-op, just like they were marketing before. So like Danny has been supporting me a lot, like with Velma whenever he plays with Velma. So he helps out with that shit too. And then I love like the little details on each character. Like with Bugs Bunny, he has like it almost looks like he has an enormous move set, but like half of it is in a sense random in a way.
hmm
And like
Yeah,
and then you just have to, like, if you get those random items, like you just have to know how to play with them and how to use those items that you get. And then like the especially like I think what won me over the most, and I told this to Danny as well, what won me over is that once I finished the tutorial and I started playing with each and every character to get a feel for everything and see if the game was good, I loved how they did Tom and Jerry. Like it's not even like I thought they were gonna be like the ice climbers of the franchise.
hmm
Like it's just two people. Like it's like two people against one, pretty much. And in a sense, it is. But it's really Tom versus Jerry. They're literally fighting each other during the match, and all the
Ah,
damage
that's
that
true.
they're doing, in a sense, it's just the other players in the middle of them two fighting. So like you can like throw Jerry, like the mouse, just like somewhere, or he'll split up somewhere, and like he'll throw a tennis ball, and the tennis
hmm
ball does damage if you happen to be in its path. But then if the tennis ball reaches Tom could hit it with a tennis racket, and it goes back to the other side, back to Jerry. So like in
hmm
between that, you could pretty much pass the ball back and forth and stuff, and like do damage with anyone who's in between it. That's just like one
hmm
example.
hmm That's fucking cool. As you were saying that, I was just downloading Multiversus,
Yeah.
like right now.
Yeah.
It's downloading.
Who did you
Um,
like the most, Danny?
um, I mean, obviously I play with Rama the most, but I mean, I really like playing with Iron Giant. He was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
He, playing with him is just really fun. He's the most impressive character to me because he is a very big character. He's like he's bigger than like when in a Smash. Like yeah, you have Bowser who's bigger than everybody else, but
mhm.
Bowser's not so big where he seems unfair. Iron
Mm-hmm.
Giant is really big where he seems like he should be a boss, right? But you playing as him, and you're like, wow, this guy can be broke, and he hits hard. Don't get me wrong, and he has some movesets and some fun combos. But he's balanced in a way where he is so slow and clunky that you can just combo the hell out of him, and combos that we normally miss hit him. So it's like this nice super balance of yes, he's clunky. I mean, yes, he's big and he's doing some crazy fucking butt stomps and all this stuff. But all the moves that he's doing because he's so big are easy to get hit. And it's like, oh, well, I can see the balance in this. I
Mm-hmm.
feel the balance in this. And that's what the most impressive part about the entire game is. It's not just a bunch of people constant. I mean, every now and then, obviously, you get a fit that just spams the same move, but you don't get the feel of somebody just spamming
And the thing is
a
that it
bunch
won't
of
even let you. It
specials.
won't even let you spam because your damage actually gets
Yeah,
reduced if you cheese.
yeah. After 3 hits, it starts to go down.
Yeah.
You can't do like never ending combos. It's kind of like a regular fighting game in that way. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's how most fighting games are. So you get cheese that way, but you still learn. They still have the combos that are like I have a 5-6 hit combo with Velma. And technically it's like 9 because they count the floor bounce as a combo as a hit. But like I can still juggle. I can still bounce people. You know, on the
Mm.
floor with Velma like this, and they all have combos like that, which is just insane. And it's not just the regular attack. It's down. And it's fun that way because Smash didn't really have that. Yes, everybody. You can do a few like 4 or 5, maybe 4 combos for something, but if you're really good, but it's so technical to do. It's
Yeah.
so fucking technical. You have to do a slight hop jump, and you gotta press the jump just right so he only slightly jumps. Then you hit, and then you do it again, and then you down. Like you have to down jump. Like it's just like it's so crazy technical. Like it's
Yeah.
over the moon fucking technical to do combos. And in
You-
this, it's not. It's still complicated, but not overly
Mm-hmm.
complicated like that.
Mm-hmm.
The way a fighting game should be. And
uh,
like, there's gonna be more tech coming out of this game. You see people going,
More
"Oh,
characters.
look what you
Oh,
can do."
by the way, you were telling me that they were releasing Rick and Morty eventually at some
Yeah.
point. I
So
read
anybody,
today. I read today that Morty's getting delayed.
yeah.
oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
Which was more the scientist or the
the
other one?
kid.
No. Rick is the scientist.
Okay, so I know Rick's code is already in the game. There's
Hmm.
people who have it for the PC
Mm,
have been able to extract it and unlock the code to play as the scientist guy.
mm-hmm.
And they showed like his teleporting, the way he shoots portals,
Hmm.
almost like
Mm,
Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny does on the floor, but he does it in the air or
mm,
anywhere really. And
mm-hmm.
he can, and when he goes into one, he pops out the other one, but he can also shoot his lasers that he shoots into them, so they come out the other
Oh,
side.
that's
And
cool.
and what's even cooler, he can hit you into the. If he hits you and you're next to one of them, you come out the other portal even
You could ring
faster.
out them like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's all type of crazy shit that that's gonna happen.
Mm,
And it's just fun. And again, it's just every character is super unique and super smart, and it doesn't feel like they just copy and paste a bunch. Because that was the problem with the Nickelodeon game. It's like they all had their moves, but everybody felt so slow and felt so floaty, and everybody's like all their moves were too grand. Everybody had crazy fucking special moves, and you didn't do them really attack. The attacks all kind of sucked, and the combo sucked. So you didn't do them. You just spam your special moves. So everybody's just spamming special moves, and you don't feel the emphasis of
mm-hmm.
when you get hit. When you get hit, you're like, oh, okay. But in this, you get hit with Superman, you feel like you're getting hit with Superman. When he
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
grabs you and punches you across the room, you're like, oh fuck, yeah, I felt that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun that way. And the same thing if you're playing Arya stabbing you, these little fucking tiny pokes, you feel like she's.
Oh,
Oh,
we lost him.
yeah. Nah, he was preaching. He was preaching right there.
Yeah. So
I've
yeah, what
seen
are you
the
thinking?
I've seen so much gameplay for it, and I was like, damn, I really want to play it. But then I've been like too tired for it, and then I'm like, I don't want to just jump on and then just play the game for like 2 hours. Like I want to sit there for like maybe like 4 hours and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Iron Giant. I haven't seen Finn stuff, but I've been seeing the Batman stuff a lot. The grappling hook with Batman, and I don't know why, but every time I see it, uh, it's just it makes me chuckle like a little schoolgirl, and I'm like, why is Batman just like he just flies off and kills himself, and
Yeah.
you're just like, well, this is happening.
It
Uh,
pisses me off when people are using Finn. Like pretty much every match, if not every single match, we're fighting a Finn. And I have yet to touch Finn, but you can tell when you're fighting against him, like he's broken because like his hitbox is just way out there. So it's impossible to
mm,
get in to actually hit him. And he has a lot of spin dashing moves. So it's not spin dash, just spinning a moves, spinning attacks. So like you can constantly and easily run into him, and if you try to attack while he's doing the move, there's no way to cancel. So it's like you're just running in and getting hit every single time. And he uses a sword, so his range is ridiculous too.
He has Sephiroth range with
a little regular sword. Yeah, with a Link sword. He has Sephiroth's. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. He has Sephiroth's range with Link's sword. Like ridiculous. Yeah. It's bad.
It sounds like it's bad. I believe it or not, I'm looking forward to like touching the game and like getting a couple hours in. I'm most likely gonna play this weekend and then next weekend as well. Because in the following weekend I'm going on my trip. So I'm still gonna be able to go to do the show then. It's just I'm probably gonna stream.
Because I wanted to you're gonna stream? You're actually gonna stream?
I was gonna stream some fighters. And then do multiverse like off stream because I wanted to enjoy the game. I wanted to play understand the game before I stream it because playing tutorial and then playing matches and then finding a character I'm like, it's gonna be way too much work. So on stream. So I'm actually gonna see a bunch of characters that I want to try. I want to try Batman, Shaggy, Iron Giant was more iffy because I saw the butt infinite.
So I don't know anything about that.
Yeah. I don't think it's an infinite. I just think he keeps butt slamming you, and it's like you stay there, and then like your teammate can just hit them with a strong attack whenever they feel like it, and then the other person will fly. But I seen that, and I was like, man, it's fucking everywhere. And then I was like, you know what? Let me just play this game as its own game. Let me not compare it to anything and enjoy it for what it is when I do get to play it.
So, Danny, I wanted to ask Danny before he got disconnected. What character do you like personality wise, not even just movesets?
I like Velma because the stuff that she says and the way she communicates with everybody is like classic Jinkies, and it's old man Jenkins.
Yeah,
it was old man. All the stupid little lines as part of her moveset was really fun. And everybody, Superman, like the way they interact with Superman, interacts with Wonder Woman, like Amazons were never to be. I knew the Amazons weren't to be played with, like stuff like that. Like they're just all really fun and they do a great job. Everybody, like again, if you're a fan of whatever that show is, I think they nail it to the T.
Yeah,
on all of them.
It's funny. Quinn, I thought this game was gonna be a really bad Smash Brothers ripoff, but it really has its own charm.
I thought it was gonna be like again the Nickelodeon game. I really did.
Yeah,
but
or the PlayStation one too.
Yeah. But it turned out not to be. They turned to be a little more. And because of that, I was actually really impressed. Because they could have easily just, fucked that up.
Yeah, well, they could have easily just made it a cash grab. I mean, and again, there's still a shit ton of microtransactions and stuff. Yeah, but at the same time, they still put love in the game because they could what I'm trying to say is they could have easily made this a cash grab for kids to just spend money on because they have cool cartoon characters and they just leave it at that. But they really put some care into this stuff. So it's really well done.
Yeah, because don't get me wrong, it's still a cash grab. There's tons. Whatever you go, there's still a lot of.
There's all these currencies, all this money you can put in.
Are kind of deep, and the point where you have to kind of buy to get costumes and get new characters.
The ring outs, you got to pay for ring outs, announcer
the
voices,
ring outs, all the stuff. But the ring out stuff looks cool, so it's you know what, I don't mind paying for one or two that I like because they do look really cool when you do get ringed out.
Yeah.
And you have to buy the announcing and voices, which is again another cool concept. Is it changes up having to hear that same fucking, round one start type fucking thing if somebody else says it, and it's the whole tutorial as you're playing. Select your character, and then you hear Superman. Choose your guy. That's kind of cool. Because again, it's a lot of people do get bored with those stupid things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still a big cash. There's lots of money. They need to hone that down a bit a little bit. Make it so it's somewhat reasonable to do by yourself if you wanted to. If you didn't want to fucking pay. Like I'm not saying, obviously you make it free or anything like that, but they have to make it reasonable that you should be able to grind yourself.
For the both of you guys, so we all like the game and everything that it brings pretty much. So, and we talked about Rick and Morty coming up soon. What characters do you guys think would be cool for the game franchise?
I want a Joker.
Joker? Yeah. Joker's nice.
I want a Joker. I mean, I feel like it's gonna happen just because of they already have Harley Quinn and Batman. They're gonna have to have Joker.
Yeah.
I already say.
Don't they have Harley Quinn, Joker? Harley Quinn, Wonder Woman, Batman, and
Yeah.
They got Joker.
Yeah, of course.
I could definitely see that.
I can see them doing Shazam too, because they already have. Maybe Black Adam because of the movie, but if that does, but they don't remember though. But I can see them doing Shazam. I can easily see them doing Shazam. They already have.
I bet you they'll do a skin for Shazam and have it be Black Adam.
Yeah, they could do that because that's the same fucking character.
Yeah.
They have something in it already that they said Shazam or definitely the S the lightning bolt from Shazam. I think it's a ring out thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you get ring out, it says Shazam or something.
Yeah.
So I think exactly what it is. So they already have that. I feel like that could be coming soon as like a way to DC to sell that movie a little more.
Kevin, what about you?
I definitely in the future see Courage, Miriam, or Eustace. I definitely see them in there.
Is that Warner Brothers though? I thought that was Cartoon Network.
No, it's Isn't it Warner Brothers though?
I don't think
Cartoon
so.
Network. Warner. Shit,
no, because they had a Scooby Doo and Courage movie.
Oh, did they? Well, I mean, they could have done mashups. Doesn't mean that they're.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Is it Cartoon Network?
I'm gonna look it up. Who else? Who else though?
No. So if not Courage, since they already added that. I don't know. I think they can do the.
It's Cartoon. It's Cartoon Network.
The network. Oh yeah. So then he's definitely he's definitely not there. I can definitely see them getting a license, and I don't think it's gonna probably take a while. But get Goku. But at night as well. You know what I mean?
can see them. I can kind of see them doing that though too.
Yeah, because
the way they did.
It's a slippery slope though. Like once you start adding anime characters, that's when people like fans and people start being like, "Oh, now you got to put Yu Yu Hakusho. Now you got to put Berserk. I mean Guts. Now you got to put this. Now you got to put that." Like
I'm gonna hurt you for saying Yu Yu Hakusho, but not saying Yusuke Urameshi. I'm like Yu Yu Hakusho. You wants the whole cast? Nah, but to be honest, I see them putting besides the licensing issue, I already see that they're gonna put Sub-Zero and or Scorpion because
that is Warner Brothers. Yeah,
that is Warner Brothers, and I'm like, yeah, I feel like they can do either the cartoon one because it's that the design is really badass, or they
don't do the movie ones. I hope not.
Don't do the movie one. It's terrible.
Yeah,
it will be. The design was he looked heavy, like.
Yeah,
like the armor looked more heavy. Yeah, and I'm like that.
I can also see them adding more big characters since they have the Iron Giant. It's like a Godzilla or King Kong. I can see them doing that as well.
Godzilla. I'm trying to remember if that was Warner Brothers. Was that Warner Brothers?
Well, yeah, that's owned by Cause,
I think
they're doing the whole Godzilla versus King Kong movies.
Again, they could do mashups though, but that doesn't mean that they're Warner Brothers.
Hold on.
I bet you they do.
Because all you do is pay for the license.
About that.
They can definitely do the Animaniacs.
That was Randy's idea. I still want that.
That's the one
I want Animaniacs.
And it'd be interesting to see how they do it because like
they could do something similar to Tom and Jerry, and they could do like a triple like character. Like they're playing with each other.
because everybody thought Rick and Morty were gonna be like that, and they kind of are. They have one move that like this fake fucking Rick comes out, but again,
Mhm.
it's because Morty's the signed or whatever, or vice versa. I didn't watch the show, but um, I could see them having all three of them also
Mm-hmm.
as three separate characters,
You, you know
and
it's a
them all just having their crazy movesets.
you know it's a character that I would just thought about now that would have been funny to put
Mhm.
Pinky and the Brain and have them as like
Yeah.
actual small mics.
Pinky,
Just
you could barely see him.
like it's like their hurt box is so
No, you
small.
know what
You
the
have
funny thing is that in the show for Pinky and the Brain, remember Brain had a mechanical suit, but he
yeah
had like the little
Yeah,
head. Like you could
yeah.
easily just
I could
put
see him
Brain
doing
in the
that.
suit, like a mechanical suit, and then you got Pinky like in his pocket somewhere, and he could like
Mhm.
he could throw him or do something with him. I don't know.
But you don't want to copy off of like the Tom and Jerry too much, so you have to make it
Yeah,
pure your own.
yeah.
I feel like for his move
A Freakazoid.
for his
Oh,
Freakazoid.
Freakazoid. That's like the Flash. It's like having the Flash.
Yeah, I can put the
For
flash in, but yeah. Fuck, I was gonna say something. Oh, did you know that Iron Giant? You can actually go inside Iron Giant in the double. That's part of his
oh
move.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you
he
can
does
have
the
an
thing where he protects friends, and he transforms, and his
Oh
movesets all change.
yeah,
And
yeah.
if you go up to him, press B or whatever it is, circle, you can actually you jump at him and control him.
I
Mm.
I seen an Iron Giant go into another Iron Giant, and it was the
They
most.
did that.
Yeah,
That's funny.
That's
it's
funny.
so dumb. I was like,
I can
"There's
see
no
that
way."
happening because it's cool.
I've seen it happen, and I was like, "This is by far the most goofiest thing I've ever seen in my life," but I'm okay with it.
That's
Oh
funny.
man, that was my choice that Kevin mentioned. Like I would have liked, or Randy originally actually is like
Yeah.
Animaniacs. Like I would have wanted them. They probably would have been one of my favorites and more fun.
Hmm. I
Um,
hope that,
Yeah.
that they don't play like Pikmin, that you can throw one of them, and then like they do their own
you know what?
animation or
I
something.
was actually also picturing it as like imagine if you could play as all three of them, but you have to select them during battle, like kind of like the
Oh,
Pokemon trainer.
Pokemon Trainer.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
so like
I
the
can see him
Pokemon
doing that.
trainer. So the Pokemon trainer is like Doctor Scratch and Sniff or something.
Uh
Oh
huh.
damn, we lost Danny again. So yeah, you know Doctor Scratch and Sniff, right? The
Yes.
psychiatrist dude. So like
Yeah.
yeah, I could picture him like summoning them pretty much, and that's how they get like put into play.
What the hell was it? There was a is DC owned by Warner Brothers?
Yeah.
Okay. So I know this is gonna sound like a stretch, but if they can get there is a Spider-Man in DC, like a Spider-Man, like a knockoff Spider-Man in DC.
I don't.
And I seen him in Young
Is
Justice.
there?
Yeah. Yes, you can look it up. You
Yeah,
can
so
look
they
up
can have
DC
any of
Spider.
them. Like they can have like
Yeah.
Static Shock.
Static Shock was another one that I saw
Static
on
Shock would
the
be cool.
leak. Static Shock.
Oh, like
Uh,
he's gonna be in it.
yeah, like in one of the photo leaks. Like
Uh huh.
remember when the game, like earlier when the game was getting announced, they showed
Yeah.
like a leak roster,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Static Shock was there. And I was like, oh, maybe.
Uh.
But some of the characters that they picked, we already knew of. But then there were some characters that we didn't,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
was like, ooh, like this is one before LeBron got announced, and
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm sure that
I was
they're
like,
like they're like oh shit, I keep forgetting I have to admit him back in. Um uh I'm sure
This app kills my phone. We'll talk about it later. All that.
um what was I saying? Shit, what was I saying?
you were saying characters that in the league,
Oh,
and
they
then
were
I
saying
said,
like yeah, if they're leaked and they're not in the game now, like I'm sure we'll hear from them later because they still might be considering them as DLC, but some of them might have been just completely dropped in the first place.
mm-hmm.
Danny, yeah, Danny's things dropping.
But that even so, like the roster that they put in the beginning of the game, it's very promising and it's very unique. I even like that some of the animations like fit the characters like specifically well. Like if you crouch with Velma and start walking, she like drops her glasses and then starts
Mm-hmm.
moving it forward. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like things like that. I'm like, all
Shaggy
right, that's
does
a
like
look.
the running thing with his legs, like just like in the cartoon, like he's just yeah, it's so cool.
Oh, I think you gotta. There you go.
Yeah.
Nah, I definitely seen that, and I was like, oh my god, this is goofy, but I love this goofiness so much.
Yeah. Man. All right. So last question for the game itself. Do you guys think that this is the Smash Brothers killer?
No,
No.
Not a
Why?
killer. I mean, well,
no me.
Smash Bros. Well, you go first, bro.
Uh, I'm not gonna lie to you. To be honest with you, I've been
Now,
watching
now,
Smash.
now,
Uh,
aside from the fact that, of course, I'll admit this, the fact that it does have an enormous fan base already because it's been out for forever.
yeah,
What is it about Smash that you think it will still be the king?
it did it first. It came out with the concept of that type of place like fighting first. Like it was a four person
I
fighter in like arena base.
I don't know if
Okay,
that's I don't know if that's a valid. Go on though.
besides that, Smash had so many announcements for characters that we didn't even know of that don't even fit the game.
Uh huh.
Ridley, which was announced, was they wanted to put in, or people wanted to put in since Melee, or like Melee, they wanted to put Ridley in, and then at the end of the game we got Ridley, Sephiroth, Kazuya, Ryu, Ken,
All
Terry.
right, so I got to
The
stop you there. Hold on,
uh,
because so you're and 100% right. Like I'm not saying you're wrong about all that stuff. Like
mhm.
all that stuff was always hyped and what the hell is a weird sound? Um and yeah, I was always hyped whenever like a character got announced and stuff like that. And that was one of the biggest things with Smash is like wondering who the next character is gonna be, how they're gonna play, how they're gonna be balanced out, yada yada. But what your argument is that all the stuff they've already done. Like now
Yes.
that the new Smash Brothers game is already established. Every character has already been announced now because Sora is supposedly the last one. Um, how is that compared to what potentially multiverses can be? Because multiverses can come out with a bunch of surprise stuff
They can.
too and hype people up just as much as Smash did. Like it has the
Mhm.
potential to be exactly how Smash was. So
Yes, but
presently
you
right now, not what
uh-huh.
Smash did in the past, presently right now, how would you say Smash is still king?
Alone from like the announcements of the character, the game was already loved before this one. So this game has been like it's not the I wouldn't say it's the best Smash. Like Melee to me, Melee and Brawl's a little bit
You
better,
like that
but this
better?
one is just like it's unique in its own right. It has a shit ton of characters. The game was hyped and balanced because that's the thing that's going to kill the game. It's like if Warner Brothers could be an amazing game, but if they balance the characters awkwardly, then that can kill the game itself. And I'm not saying the game is going to die like in a year or so. I'm just saying like
But it can
that can
fail. It has the potential to fail. Yeah.
it can definitely fail because of that. So I would see with how they balance certain things is what's going to make or break the game.
Hmm.
And Smash didn't do it. I wouldn't say like Smash did the best job, but it did an okay job at balancing certain characters. Like it was fair
Not when it
enough.
first came out.
Not
Yeah.
no game balances any character the first time it come out. Like
Hmm.
I'm saying the first game, period.
oh yeah,
Not
yeah,
just
yeah. No, the first game was broken. Fox had a beam that was the entire
yeah.
screen. He can literally shoot you, and the beam would just hit you from across the screen. It didn't make
Yeah,
sense.
there's a lot of things that were broken in the first like two games. It took a while for the balancing aspect to actually come into play, so they could figure out what they need to do to balance things.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
so Danny, what about you then?
What? Oh, do I think it's Smash Killer?
Yeah, you think
Yeah.
it's a Smash Killer? Like potentially how
No,
everything is right, everything that it could potentially be versus what Smash is now.
Smash is too much of its own thing. It's like you can't say SNK is going to be the new Street Fighter killer or Guilty Gear is going to be Street Fighter killer. There's always going to be Street Fighter. There's always going to be SNK, even though they're very close to the same thing.
Hmm.
You know, um, there's always going to be Street Fighter. So it's the same thing with Smash. There's always going to be a Smash. There's always going to be other Smash-like games. Yes, I think it will have its own cult following because a lot of fighting game that community is so huge. So you will get a crossover, but it's not going to kill one. It's not going to kill one or the other. Smash, the new Smash 4 or whatever comes out, next year, it's not going to all of a sudden kill this game. They're just going to be two
We're not
games
gonna have a
side by
Smash.
side.
They're not gonna have a Smash game for like another 10, 20 years, I bet.
Well, yeah. Well, you never know because since they're not making any more characters, they're going to have to look at something to generate the revenue.
Because the thing is, they've talked about it before though. The licensing is a nightmare, and then on top of that, they're exhausted of making the game. They're exhausted of like all the balancing, all the bringing in the characters, just everything in general. The workload on making that game was exhausting for them, and they were ready. They've talked about it almost every single iteration of Smash Brothers. They were just like, "Yeah, we're done. I don't want to do this anymore.
But you gotta,
Let's move
but
on
you
to
gotta
something
realize
else."
that, especially if Multiverse does well, or will do well, and because it does well, then Smash Brothers be like, damn, we gotta do another one.
Yeah.
Like this is a genre, this is what people like. So obviously they want more. And look, that one sold and it's doing about a little money, and that's money we could be making. You know, when if can it come back with microtransactions? Like,
Which
yeah,
is why
maybe
I found it
probably.
strange that Smash announced a final character. I was just like, why would you like? Why would you want to do that?
Because with Smash is one of those. It's a game that I think you can complete the game, like add every character, but even so, there's so much depth in that game that you have enough time. Like I would feel like to complete everything in Smash, you need at least 100 hours, maybe more, if you want to complete the game.
But most people will stick with like main fighters. It's not like not everyone would want to play with every single character.
But those are the small niche people. Like if let's say I want to play with Falco, I have to unlock majority of the roster to then get to be able to fight Falco.
But that's my point. My point is like what Danny was talking about was that if there is money to be made, they're gonna try to continue it in some sort of way. So I find it odd. Like they wouldn't cater for that niche audience. They're gonna try to cater for as broad as possible to make as much money. So like, why would you want to announce the final player? And like now everyone knows that there's never, supposedly never gonna be another character in this Smash game, and now everyone's just like, okay, now what?
I feel like it's the final character for this game because Matsuhito Sakurai, which is the head developer on Smash, always says it's the final character, but it's one of those things that it's maybe that's the final character for this game.
I'm sure that's where they were going, but
and then the next game they would do like what they did with this game, which is every DLC character became playable at base. Well, not at base, but you can unlock them.
You can unlock them while you're playing the story or some shit.
Or just fighting like a bunch of people. And that's something that I would say that it's the reason why it did as well as it did. And then the characters that they selected for the selection, like Sephiroth was hype. Sora, I feel like everybody was just like, "Oh my fucking god!" That was the character that was like
people cried over him.
Everybody was either crying or angry about him. Like my brother's like, "I fucking hate this character." He like the first game I played, I threw up, and I was like, "I understand," but it's the characters that they selected for the game that made the game what it is.
Yeah,
not only just like everybody established his name, adding characters to it that from a different franchise that people love made the game not better, but more. It got more people invested into the game because when you add characters that people like Batman, Superman, Harley Quinn in the game, they're gonna play it because of those characters, not just the name alone. But the name for Smash already had its thing, so it's like let's see who we can add. Inside a giant fucking dinosaur, call him Yoshi. You know what I mean? Like they'll pay $30 for like 10 Yoshi skins or some shit. If they did that, then that would be cash grab.
But,
I can see them. I mean, I don't know. That has never been why they really should have did it, but they kind of do it with like those little toy figures and shit like that.
The amiibos.
Amiibos, yeah. So I can see them. Not the amiibos itself, but they really tried their own kind of microservice, and just kind of the way these games are going anyway. So.
Yeah, I kind of sided with Danny's argument about Multiversus is its own thing compared to Smash. Of course, has the simulators, but I think like the Smash, I kind of see the Smash versus Multiverses fan base are gonna clash a lot. Like
Yeah.
it's mostly just gonna be like just like there's a console war for whatever stupid reason. There's gonna be a Smash Brothers like what kind of genre game would you call this? I wouldn't just say a fighter, like arena fighter,
Party fighter.
party fighter, I guess.
Yeah.
So
'Cause
whatever type
the
of
items.
genre it is, like these two are probably gonna be the big dogs, and like the fan base is just gonna like fight against each other over it.
It's gonna be like Dio walking up. I mean, Jotaro walking up to Dio. Like, oh, Smash is like, you're gonna walk towards me. He was like, I can't punch you if I'm not close enough. I'm like, all right, this is it.
Yeah.
Nah, because it's like somebody saying Elden Ring is like the killer of Dark Souls. You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
But that's a single player game though, because I would completely agree with that.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like Elden Ring or like Bloodborne or something like that is the killer of Dark Souls, or it was like it was.
I think Elden Ring is the killer of any even Dark Souls ish type game. Like at this point,
like that come out in the future,
like Ashen, like Danny. I was streaming this game called Ashen, which is another free game for PlayStation Premium, and I was streaming it, and Kevin was joining, and or he was joining the chat, and as I'm progressing through the game, I realize it's a Dark Souls type game. And I'm just like, oh, I'm so sick of this, and it's kind of open world actually. So there's a lot of side quests that you can do. So I'm running around and doing these side quests and killing these monsters, and I'm just like, it still doesn't live up to Elden Ring. Like I don't like this.
I think FromSoft made everybody peak with Elden Ring, and that's the problem. Like it's like after you beat Elden Ring, it's like you get like everything. You're like, what is there to do now?
What is there to do?
You go outside and you just like, instead of driving a car, everybody just starts running on horseback.
It was one of the few games. All of them were really disappointed after I fucking damn near 100% of it. Well, I platinumed it. I was like, damn, I wanted to be more. I wanted to be
as if that wasn't enough. Like, and now you just want more. That's a sign of a good game. Like, you still want more after 100%ing
game, and I wanted more. That was actually,
man.
Believe it or not, I think I'm gonna play Elden Ring.
And every now and then I'll pop up a YouTube video. I'll pop up.
I will jump on Elden Ring again at some point because there are rumors of a DLC. And and From Software said that their new game, whatever it is, nobody knows what it is, but they said their new game is almost finished. So,
but is it Elden Ring 2 though?
I don't know. If it's Elden Ring 2, man, everyone's gonna bust a nut. You know, like
shit,
it's fucking crazy.
I was thinking about busting a nut for Elden Ring 2.
Would you be upset if they did a Elden Ring 2, or if they?
I would rather just have an all-out sequel than DLC. Because at least
one DLC.
Because at least you have
DLCs before they came out as a sequel.
Because the thing is, it's tricky though. Because if they did an Elden Ring sequel, it better not feel or be it could have just been a DLC. Because if you do a sequel and you're using the same exact map and the same exact mechanics and the same exact everything, just different enemies, then you might as well just have kept it a DLC. So as long as it's still its own game set in that world, actually, it didn't even have to be set in that world, honestly. But just that kind of game again, but just better, like then I'm happy. I'm good with a sequel.
Yeah, I've been playing Dark Souls 1, and I realized a lot of things. When I've been playing that game, I think I appreciate Dark Souls 3 a little bit more because you go to the first time for areas that you've never seen before in Dark Souls 1.
Mm-hmm.
But if you play 3, you go back there, but it's just like more decrepit. It's more broken down. Some of the areas you fight at, it's just like a different time that your character's doing these things, and I'm like, ooh, that's interesting.
I'm sorry, I like completely off the rails. I took a sip, the rest of the sip of my shot of this Jameson orange. Now I know exactly what this thing tastes like, and I can tell you, if you guys ever tasted an orange Tic Tac,
yes,
it's exactly what it tastes like.
Oh, that's gonna give me heartburn.
Yeah, that's exactly what it tastes like. It's an orange Tic Tac.
It's bearable, but it's not it's not great. I can be honest with you.
Okay, so all right, so we went off topic anyways with Elden Ring. So, but that's the thoughts on multiverses. The next one was they're announcing that the Sega Genesis Mini 2 is coming out sometime at the end of this year, and they also mentioned that they're not going to release as many consoles as they did the last time they originally sold the Sega Genesis Mini, the first one.
Mhm.
So when I was reading it, I laughed because first of all, I have the Sega Genesis Mini, and it has a decent amount of cool games to play. But on top of that, a lot of people nowadays they have all these virtual console stuff like the Nintendo virtual console things for the subscription. You have the PlayStation Plus stuff now, so you can play a couple of PS1 games and more coming around. You got the Xbox Game Pass, which is doing the same thing. On top of that, if you have the original minis such as the PS1, the Sega Genesis, the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo, you can mod them. Not saying I'm condoning it, but you can mod them and get any game you pretty much want for it for free. So I laughed at the idea that they were coming out with a Sega Genesis Mini 2 with a new selection of games, which some people might like and some people might not like a couple of the selections in it. So it's almost like you have to buy another new system over again just to play a handful of games that you might want to play, whether it be forever or just for a couple minutes because you're feeling nostalgic. And then on top of that, you're limited. Like you can't add more games to it. You're spending another probably $100, like somewhere between $60 to $100 for the console. You can't upgrade it. You can't do shit with it. Like you just stuck with these games and that's it. So I'm just like, and then on top of that, they're limiting the amount of systems there are. So they're limiting it to kind of like do more of a market demand thing, kind of like what Nintendo does all the time.
Mhm.
So I wanted to know you guys' thoughts on it. Like this is obviously a cash grab. I don't even have to ask you that. But like what like do you think it's a waste of money? Do you think that it's worth like buying like console after console after console? Like let's say every 2 years, let's say they released a mini console out with new games that you might want to play. Like you think that's really worth it?
No, I think people are gonna buy it only if it has a game in there that really intrigues them, and that's what it is. Like, oh man, I really wanted Sonic 3, blah blah blah. I don't know, but fucking
Yeah.
so Genesis they don't really have, but that's the only way people are really gonna do it.
But that's the
And
thing
they're
though.
gonna
But
pay either
like
or.
but like
As if they don't
I
have
bought
one.
but
But
if they don't
have
have
one
one,
already,
if they
like,
don't have one.
yeah, if you don't, so I'm saying you'll pick between the two. But if you don't have one, then I mean, if you already have one, then I don't think I don't see them really buying or
Gentlemen.
doing as well. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's a silly cash grab.
Yeah.
Obvious cash grab, but it's a silly one at that.
Because I find it funny also when the Nintendo came out and then the Super Nintendo Mini came out, and then now Nintendo has its own like virtual console subscription that you can buy and play 64 games and other type games. So it's just like if Nintendo came out with like let's say a 64 Mini or a Game Boy Mini, how stupid is that? Because now you're either going to buy a console that has limited games or you just wait for the subscription service to add it to the subscription.
Yeah.
So it's just like I don't know. I wouldn't call it cannibalizing themselves, but like they're kind of just stuck in a corner of just like you want to buy this console because it looks cool and it's mini, or do you want to just pay us this monthly or this yearly subscription and just wait, or
And
do
again,
the
it might-
illegal route and fucking mod the thing, and then Nintendo probably sues your ass.
But it also might be the reason why it's coming out limited. I think because they know it's not gonna sell as much as the popularity when people were home during the pandemic era. I think that's why it did so low. It's during the pandemic era, everybody was home. This is a cute little toy they could order off from Amazon and come in, and then everybody would play for a little bit. Also, if it comes around the holidays, is also good stocking stuffer type thing.
Well, it's not going to stuff
know.
many stockings because it's a limited supply. But this is nothing.
Exactly.
This
That's
is
what I'm
nothing
saying.
new
Not a lot
though.
of
This is
not a-
nothing new.
not a lot of
but
people.
These old
Not a
consoles
lot of
came
people are gonna
before
buy
the
it though.
pandemic. These consoles came before the pandemic, and they still did limited supply on purpose because supply and demand is gonna make you want to pay for these things more.
What I'm saying is that it's gonna be it's just a slight cash grab. They can make some money during the holidays.
Yeah,
That's when the
definitely.
last ones were huge. I mean, the Nintendo was at one point was just a fad of everybody getting a fucking Nintendo, small Nintendo, and then playing it for around the holidays. The next year came out, it was a Genesis. Now this year came out, you're like, it's just that's all it is. Nothing more than that.
I saw a
And
Nintendo Mini selling more than a PS4 when it first came out,
Yeah.
like crazy. Well, Kevin, what were your thoughts?
To be honest with you, I'm not surprised, and to be completely transparent, I'd seen this coming. It was either they were going to come out with a mini Genesis 2 or something else. Like if they wanted to, I'm excited if they do like a mini PlayStation 2 or like a mini Xbox, like original Xbox, like the classic games. I can see that, but it's we can not saying to condone it, but you could just buy a virtual console, or like just or not even buy a virtual console, like download games illegally, which I don't condone.
Which a lot of people
Yeah,
do anyways.
yeah, they just do anyways, and it's easier because you can get what you want. Like let's say the mini Genesis 2 comes out and it doesn't have Sonic 3. I could
Mhm.
just go and either buy it myself, like because Sonic is coming out with a collection with all the
Oh
original
yeah,
Sonic,
yeah,
the old school Sonic games, or I can just download it. You know what I mean? Or
yeah.
I can find it for like cheap or whatever. And I feel like it's more like if I wanted to play that game, but that's like I feel like that's for a specific group, like a specific niche group that wants like mini consoles, because it like
Probably
the only
it's a
thing I would want
collector's
from it is
item.
yeah, it's a collector's item. Like the GameCube, I mean the 64 controller for like the Switch.
Hmm.
I wanted that just because I wanted the original controller. I didn't care about using it to play because it everyone knows that 64 controller is almost
I'll
unplayable. It
never
doesn't make sense.
understand that
Anyway,
concept.
you
You want to buy something to not use it?
no,
there's a
because
lot
I
of
want to.
collectibles. There's a lot of people who do that just to have it as collectible. Look what I have. Look, I have the
Yeah,
controller.
cool.
This is what I
I'm
used to
not. I'm
play.
not.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking them on. I'm just saying I don't understand it.
Do you have Funko Pops?
I have a Funko Pop, and
Okay,
that was
then why
because
Did
my
you
do you have
play
wife
with
bought it for me.
it?
This is
That's
this
the
is my
same.
one and only
But
Funko Pop.
but no, but that's like anything else. Do you have a fucking statue or a fucking toy or
Sephiroth.
whatever? Yeah, exactly. Like you're not actually
Sephiroth.
gonna
Well,
play with
so
the fucking
these
thing.
things
It's
I
something to
get.
look
Like for
at.
example, I have this thing here on my desk. Like these
It's
things I get.
Mario.
These are supposed to be ornamental things to have around the house. I'm talking about. I don't understand how you can buy a piece of technology such as a controller or a console, for example, and not touch it as it's supposed to be used for something. This is not
Well,
supposed to be used
consoles.
for anything. Look what it does. Like look. Click, click.
I can't see shit.
That's as far as it goes. That's
Yeah,
all that
but
it
you never
does.
actually use it for a light, so it is almost similar.
But it's not a night light or anything. No, this is all it does. You use this for decoration. You telling me you want to buy a console for decoration?
Yeah. I mean,
People buy fucking dolls and
Should I
toys and
should I
fucking leave them
buy
unboxed.
should I buy
I mean,
a
it's the same
PS5
shit.
just for decoration? Like
There are some people who do stuff like that. I mean, like
I don't get
obviously
it.
not
I don't
now. It
get
doesn't
it.
make any sense. But in 20 years from now, it's like, oh,
Oh, you're
this
talking
guy's
about an
PS5.
investment. That's very different.
But again, that's what all these are. It's not even just investments. It's just like Manny, for instance, has every single console he's ever bought. He ever has in like perfect condition in the box
Mm-hmm.
because he's very anal about everything.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't play them, any of them. But when he whipped out that fucking thing and posted a picture of it, it's like, wow, I can't believe you kept all that. I can't believe you have all that.
I don't
It's
understand it. I don't
it's the
understand it.
same thing.
I could
Same thing of
understand that
having a
he's holding
Nintendo
it.
doll.
I could understand if he's holding on to it because he wants to make that investment at some point.
It's not
Like
like
just
you
like
don't have.
comic
It's
books,
just
for example, just like what else we could collect, like magic cards, like those type of things. Like if you're not going to use them, you're collecting them because you plan on making an investment. You
for
plan on
memories.
selling
That's
them,
it.
Yeah,
for example.
yeah.
Pure. It's
I
pure. Some things are
It's a
just
piece of
so
electronic.
It's a
But
piece of
It's
somebody's
a
childhood.
controller.
It's a piece of somebody's
It's a
childhood.
controller.
you want to know how I can answer this question? You
Uh-huh.
see how Sober set memories. The reason I would want the 64 controller is is pretty much to preserve the memory I have of that.
So
Even if
why
I'm
not
using,
buy an actual controller and have it sit there for like you're paying $5 versus a whole $60?
but that's what I'm saying. I can pay $5, but then the thing is, I have to find it. It has to be in condition. Like it has to basically be the same
It
thing that
doesn't
I
have to
got
be
you,
functional because clearly you're not going to use it.
because the controller itself is not. I'm talking about the 64 controller. It is. I
Yes, that's
don't
what I'm
know how to
talking
play.
about.
No, 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 no. I'm saying it like that shit. It doesn't matter how functional it is. I'm not going to use it, and I know I'm not going to use it.
But that's what I'm
Like this,
saying. If it's about the memories, then why not buy a cheap, ugly $5 controller that you can just buy anywhere
because
versus
even if
paying a full $60 for a full retail, like, because you're going to pay $60 for it if you want to use it that badly, and you pay $60 for it, and you just sit there and do nothing with it. And if it's about the memories, then get a real one, not a wireless one or
because
a.
even if I get a real 64 controller, even if I wanted to do something with it, I have to get the entire console, which is it's
What do
almost
you
the
want
same.
to do something with it or not?
But that's what I'm saying. Like if I wanted to get an entire console, it is twice the amount of me just getting that controller and having that memory. Like I will have to find a 64, which is like I've seen one for
That's
130.
a whole different
No, no,
argument
no,
though.
no,
You told me that you
no,
don't plan on using it.
I don't, because the 64 controller to me is something that nobody. I don't know how people use it. They use it, and I commend them for that. But I can't. But the memories that I hold for that controller and all the games that I played at that time is what
Buy a
makes me want
$5
to buy it.
controller.
I ain't buying no $5 controller and then get a 64 adapter to a Switch controller in case I want
Like
to go on
I could understand the memory thing. Like that makes sense to me. But
Mhm.
like, because if I wanted to, like, I could buy a freaking light gun, like when I used to play Duck Hunt with back in the NES days. Like, and I could buy that shit for like $5. But I'm not gonna spend $50-$60 on a brand new one that they're selling at GameStop or Amazon because I'm feeling nostalgic.
But even if you buy it, you can still have it. And if you want to get to that point of making it like an investment, you can, and you can flip it. Because that's the
But
thing
not
with
even but again, it's still not an investment. Like you can't if you buy the N64, you can't buy an old N64 and actually use it on most TVs nowadays. It's very
yeah.
You'd
hard.
have to buy a TV too,
The,
CRT TV.
No,
yeah,
you can just buy an
so
Yeah,
adapter. They have
true.
the
and
Yeah,
you
adapter.
can
no, you
buy
can't
it
get an
if
adapter.
it's
Yeah.
again, it's a lot of work for some people who may not know how to do it. Like I wouldn't. I mean, I would look it up, but it's a lot of fucking
Yeah.
work. I wouldn't actually go through it. I would just rather buy this little bullshit system. I'm
Mhm.
never really gonna play it, but I would love to show my kids that one day. Like, look, especially when they start getting into games, they start gaming and all that BS. Man, look, and yes, I know you have it on the Switch, but look, play with the controller. And it's. I wish I can have the Nintendo, the old Nintendo, and just blow the cartridges and be like, yeah, this is what we have to do. This is how we got our long exercise. Like, make those bad jokes we used to always say because that's what we remember.
But my
And
question is, if you could do that, and I'm not knocking you for doing that, but would you buy a Nintendo cartridge for $60, or would you just buy one for $5, just so you can have that old nostalgic feeling of you blowing into a cartridge?
yeah, the whole experience of this is what the games actually look like.
You're spending
They're not
$60 to blow into
remastered.
a cartridge.
Yes.
And yeah,
Yeah.
because it's the whole experience. So if I can,
You
if
said
I had to
60?
pay, if you
Yes.
No, it's like
again,
120 depending on where you
Well,
find
those are
it.
those high price, like big name. Yeah, granted, but those are collector's items. Those are investments. I'm just talking about buy a fucking cheap ass version of Kid Icarus somewhere for $5 and blow into it to your heart's content, versus like spending $120, because you hope that the price will increase in the next 10-20 years and you could resell it or whatever it may be. But if you're just talking about wanting to blow into a cartridge to feel the old memories you used to feel back in the day, why are you spending $60?
First of all, if you're blowing into your cartridges, it actually hurts the game. Not
Well, we all know that now.
oh yeah, we didn't know.
just letting these kids know, like it's not. It's not the best thing. It actually makes the game not run.
But again, the nostalgic thing, I get it, I understand it, but my argument still stands. It's just like, why are you spending so much money, like an exorbitant or not exorbitant, or an unrealistic or amount of money, when to feel some type of way to use to buy something you're not going to use when you could just buy it super cheap.
Because it's not the same experience. At the end of
So
the day,
money gives you the experience.
no.
That extra
It
10,
doesn't.
20, 30
No,
bucks gives you better experience.
the money has no money. The money has no value.
So
when it
why
comes
isn't
to
$5 enough?
reliving your childhood.
So why isn't
Because
$5 enough?
I don't understand what you're saying. For you can't buy a $5 controller. Like this, you just can't buy a
Really?
$5 controller.
You want to
But
bet I can't find
same.
one right now online?
But
I'm
you
gonna
can't
look
have the. What would you hook it up to? I'm
I mean,
confused.
I don't know if you're talking about Amazon or something, because obviously they're gonna scalp you as much as possible. I'm talking
I know,
about some
but what
like
are you
third party
talking?
thing. What?
What what would you hook it up to? Like your PC? I
But
mean,
no, that's my point. Is if I want to buy something to not use it, I'm spending
no,
$5
I'm
on it.
talking about why would you spend? What are you spending $5? What are you buying for $5? And I'm talking about actually like the whole idea is that you have it because it brings you back to your childhood, whatever it is,
Cool,
right? It brings you back those memories.
cool.
If you wanted to plug it in and play,
Oh
Oh,
fuck!
he left again.
God damn it! Oh, Danny, he's using his phone. That's why he keeps on getting disconnected. But do you understand what I'm trying to say? Because I don't think he's
Yeah.
getting it.
No, I get what you're saying, but I agree with Dan, because you know how like I've been bitching and praying for Microsoft to put Grab 'em by the Ghoulies on Xbox.
Uh-huh.
That is a game, that is the first Xbox game I've ever played myself.
Okay,
So
so that's an example
so
right there. I could understand, like, that could have been your top number one favorite game of all time, right? It reminds you of
mhm,
your childhood. You love this game.
mhm,
You want to you definitely want to play this game.
mhm.
What if they sold the game for $70?
Depends on what am I getting it on.
No, nothing.
As of right
Like,
as
oh,
of
I thought you meant like
as
features.
of
Like,
right
you
now,
get nothing. It plays exactly the same. It's not upgraded in any way. It's just exactly the same as
I
you
mean
remember it
they did that with the what is it,
for
Microsoft
$70.
for $70.
A
As
full
of right now,
retail game.
as of right now, financially, I wouldn't do it, because I'm a little bit more smarter with my money, and $70
Yeah.
for a game that I can literally buy it for less. I can do it.
And
I
that's
understand that.
exactly my point. That's
I
my
understand
point.
that. But for when it comes to nostalgia, it's more like I just found the
And not
Switch
to say it would sell
version.
for $70, because I know that's
No, it would,
unrealistic, but we're
no,
talking about
it's
what ifs, you know?
if I was to get, let's say, the controller, right, the 64 controller, me looking at the controller would bring back memories of when I used to play GoldenEye, which there's no way as of right now for me to play it unless it's like I buy the console, the old console, and then buy the game, and then that game goes for like $200. So I'll be spending $300 for a system when I can just do it the the corrupt way. Nicest way of saying it, the corrupt way of doing it,
But
which is bad.
and
But that's
that's
the
what I'm saying. Like, there are so many other ways, because when this all started because you wanted to buy a Nintendo 64 ish
yeah, controller.
controller. It's like, so like, that's what I understand. I could understand that you want to buy anything because it'll make you feel good. You want to buy
Oh yeah.
anything. Yeah, I got him. You want to buy something because you feel some type of way about it, whatever it may be. But my point is, like,
Mhm.
there are ways around where you can not have to spend that stupid amount of money
Yeah.
to feel that type of way. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I mean,
There's
if you
cheaper.
want to
There's
spend that
cheap.
money, that's fine. But in my head, I don't understand that logic, because you
And
want to feel nostalgic, but you're overspending this ridiculous amount of money.
mhm.
there's
For
no. But if it doesn't make any sense, if they're telling you it costs you $50 for you to relive your child, whatever it is, go to a wrestling match, whatever the fuck it is, then that's the price. If you tell me I'm gonna, you could pay $50 and go to a real wrestling match, or you could pay $5 and go to the thing that kind of looks like wrestling but it's not. Like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to actually
Well,
relive my fucking
but
childhood. You know what I mean?
you're talking about authenticity. I'm not arguing about authenticity. I'm not saying that you shouldn't get the authentic item or whatever it is that you want to get. I'm saying the amount of money that you're putting into it makes no sense to me when you can get it cheaper. So like my argument again when Kevin talked about it was the N64 controller. I'm not spending $60 on a controller that I don't plan on using. I'll spend $5 on an old Nintendo 64 controller because the only reason why you want the controller in the first place is to feel nostalgic for it. Then that's perfectly that's what I understand. I don't understand why anybody would spend so much money on something they don't plan on using just because they want to feel some certain way. So obviously I'm gonna say no if somebody says, "Oh, you want to spend $5 on something that looks like a wrestling thing, but it's not really a wrestling thing." Of course I'm gonna say no because it's not really a wrestling thing. And in fact, if you want to make that argument, Kevin's Nintendo 64 controller that runs $60 isn't the real thing anyways.
No, it's not.
So that's invalid already. So of
But it's
course
the
I'm gonna
closest.
spend.
But it's the closest thing to emulate that feeling
But
of
you
what
can
you have.
get a
But
real
you can't.
controller.
You
But
can't.
but you can't use it. You can't. You can
He
buy
doesn't
what
want
controller
to
you
use
want.
it. He doesn't want to
hold on.
use
But
it.
but it's
on,
the
hold on.
idea. It's always the idea of I could show this to my kids. I could show this to my girlfriend and be like, look, this.
You
You
know
know.
it's a
Yes, I probably again. I bought the Nintendo, fully knowing well, I was gonna probably play like once or twice, and then just throw the fucking thing away.
Yeah.
But I thought it didn't say rot. But I'm glad I fucking did. I'm glad I was able to get my kids the experience. It's gonna sit there. I know it's gonna sit there, but I'm never gonna get rid of it
for
because
me
I might bust it out one day.
yeah,
So
like for
cool.
me is the Switch N64 controller, even though I don't like when I say I don't want to use it, it's not like I'm just gonna leave it in the box and be pristine. I am going to try it to be like play Mario Kart so you can get that authentic old school
Yeah.
Mario Kart feel. You know what I mean? Like it's like that. But when
See, and I
use
still
it,
don't get that. Like you said, you would try it. So it's like, okay, fine. You at least give it a try because you want to get that authentic thing for like one or two games. Let's say, for example, a couple of 64 games here and there. I still don't get that myself. Like because you're still spending $60 on something that you're gonna try, that you know you're gonna use, and then it's gonna sit in a closet for another 10 years, or it just disappear and you forget about it, or you throw it away.
even
But
if it,
you're telling me you don't have anything like that you never got and then just fucking threw it away, or let it sit there. Like you don't have a Super Nintendo fucking emulator system.
oh no, you
I
have a mini.
have a
Or the
couple of minis,
PlayStation
and I
one that
still
you
play them.
never really, not really. I mean,
Oh,
again,
you're
you
in my house
probably
every
had
single
some.
day.
I like realistically, you probably had some fun with. Don't get me wrong, but you
I
said it yourself.
guarantee you, I
Most of
played
the
with every
emulation,
single console at least once a month. At the very least, once a month.
but even if you didn't, it wouldn't. Nobody would care. Nobody would judge because
But
they
I'm not
know.
judging
I mean,
either. I'm still just telling you, I don't understand that logic. I'm not judging any of you guys for how you want to spend your money. You guys are big boys. You spend it however the hell you want. But I'm telling you right now, I still don't understand the logic of overspending a particular amount of money when you can spend that, when you want to get that same experience or that same feeling for something cheap.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. I get the spend like in a way spend responsibly because spending $60 on a controller is as of right now it's kind of like I would say it's still new, relatively new to us because $55 for like a P4 controller back in the days was like, damn, that's a lot. 60 for like a controller, but it's all personal preference. Like I would get the controller because like you said before, you we're we're big boys, so we can make that decision. But
Yeah.
for me to spend that to get that money, like to if I was to spend it at the time, I would be like, all right, cool, yeah, I don't have any problem to get this 64 controller. It runs on batteries, which I don't understand why. It kind of just defeats it takes away the realism of like your memory of it, like being control like plugging it in. I would like that to just be a plug-in control that you just like a USB or something like that,
You,
which you
you,
can do.
you know, like one loophole in the logic that I'm using towards, let's say like you bought the 64 controller and you don't want to use it. Like you spent $60 on it and you don't want to use it. It's just sitting there and doing nothing. Like, because in my head, I was just like, a lot of people can argue you could buy a model, a statue or something, and some people will say, oh, that's a waste of money because all it's doing is sitting there, but that's exactly what it is. It's supposed to sit there. That's what its function is to decorate the place. So like if you were to spend this money to feel some type of way about it, and as long as like let's say you put it up on a shelf on a nice display and you kind of like use it to decorate your room, because a lot of people do that too. They buy a lot of like old consoles and they never use it, not even for investment, but they never use it, but they at least decorate their man cave, for example, with all these old consoles and stuff like that, because at least it still has a function. It's still doing something. You know what I mean?
It's
so
like
that's a
it's
little
like
bit of a loophole that you guys could have used. It's just like at least you're still
I
doing
feel like
something with it.
I feel like it's one of those like the one up arcade machine. You know what I mean? It's like that. Like it's for decor. It's not only for decoration. It's the game itself. But who's gonna sit there and play like spend $500-$600 on a small arcade machine to play like a couple games? You
Danny's
know what I
cousin's
mean?
got
Like
quite a few of those.
huh?
Yeah.
No, it's amazing because for me, I wanted to get a he's gone again.
Yeah.
I wanted to get a House of the Dead 2 like arcade machine that works and is functional, so I can have it for decoration. Like I had a plan of how I wanted to decorate my man cave, and it's gonna have a bunch of arcade machines. It doesn't mean I'm gonna always play all those games, but if I feel like it, I could be like, oh, I'll play a couple hours of House of the Dead or whatever, and it's mainly for decoration. But a controller like that, like the reason why I don't have a problem with it is because I've done it before. I've bought controllers that I just stopped using after, like the GameCube controller. I tried playing Smash with it, didn't like it. I tried playing
GameCube
Fighters with
controller
it, didn't
too.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the GameCube controller one. It runs on batteries, and I hate it because it's like I have to be worried of how much time do I have. The controller just dies, and my character just goes
And it
idle,
doesn't
and I'm
even
like,
give you a
well,
notification, does it?
it does not at all. It
Yeah.
just tells you that the controller is connected. That's it, and then the controller is disconnected. That's the only two warnings you get. But I like the idea of having the option, but as of right now, I wouldn't spend that money because if I'm gonna pay $60, I'd rather just buy a game that I would play, not just for a controller. And I looked up the price for it, and it jumped up exponentially. I think it's 189 on Amazon, and I'm like, I'm not gonna pay $200 for it. I'm not gonna pay $200 for a controller I can find for cheaper. You know what I mean? Like it's like I can find it cheaper if I can buy it cheaper before it goes up in price, because I know those are one of those things that it is collectors and people like it, and then it's also it has its function of being a controller. I would buy it because in case I want to flip it, you know what I mean? Like I will buy two just in case. Like I was like, I'll have one for myself if I ever want to use it, or if I don't want to use it, I
And
still have it.
that's still an
And the other
investment. The second one's an investment. You can flip it. Yeah.
no, that's what I was saying. Like I was like, if you ever want to flip, like when I say I don't want to, I'm not gonna play with it. I won't play with the controller because I know how uncomfortable the controller is. But in case I want to flip it, I still have the controller, and then I have one I can flip for like triple or quadruple the price, depending on when I decide to sell it. And that's something that I decided to do. Like I have two PS5
that's the tricky thing with electronics in general, though. Like you can't spend too much time wanting to flip it for like a higher price, because those things will drop in price like.
But it's
easily.
As long as it's the new console, or like the newer
newer
the Switch
console,
controller.
Yeah.
You can always flip. Like the PS5 controller. I have the neon pink one. I barely use that controller because I like the color, and it's like my thing with those controllers is that if you get smudge or anything on it, it feels like it stays there. Especially the white controller. I don't use that one because white white is a bad color for me.
Dude, yeah, my thing is a mess.
Yeah.
The PS5 controller, because they come white.
Yeah, and I despise it, but I love the way the controller looks. I hate the D-pad, but that's one of those things that I bought two PlayStation 5 controllers. I don't have a PlayStation 5, but I just like the way the controller looks, and I can use it for PC or whatever. So I would use it from time to time, but it's one of those personal preference thing. And I bought it, one for full price and the other one for like maybe like $15 off. It was like 65. It was probably like $5 off. But I bought that one as soon as I saw it, and I started using it for PC and stuff, and it works well.
Yeah.
It again, I feel like it is a preference thing. And going back to like the Sega Genesis Mini, I don't know why they're selling it when Nintendo is pretty much doing the
Sega stuff with the 64.
With the 64, like the subscription thing.
Sega themselves are probably just trying to make money off that stuff because they only do software now.
And Sonic.
And Sonic. It's its own category.
is its own category. Well, they have their things, like they have Virtual Fighters and they have Sonic. They have a couple other games that I can't think of off the top of my head that they're like living on, but as of right now, they're not doing much that I know of. What the fuck is on my leg? Um,
Mm.
and I see them trying to make money with this, but if let's say Nintendo comes out with like a GameCube Mini, that shit's gonna it's gonna blow up.
And that's maybe it's some sort of business decision that I'm not seeing for some reason, but like
Mhm.
you're either limiting the amount of consoles that you're selling for the holidays because you want to cause a
Uproar.
yeah, you want to cause a high demand for the
Yeah.
system because there's so little of them, or
Mhm.
they probably just don't have the money, the time, the resources to develop enough mini consoles for everybody. So it's like if you don't have the time, then why even bother with it? And I
Yeah.
still don't understand how, like, we have the mini NES, we have the SNES, we have what else we have? We had the Genesis,
The
we have the
PlayStation.
PS1, yeah. Uh, like they could have had the opportunity to sell ROMs, each and every one of those companies. They could have sold
Mhm.
ROMs to upgrade these mini consoles. So you don't have to create another mini console. You don't have to spend money on more manufacturing of a PS1 2. Hey, Sega Genesis Mini 2, SNES
Mhm.
2. Like just have an upgraded version. Like you can upgrade them or upload
Mhm.
or download or whatever it is you want to call them, and you can make money that way instead.
But wouldn't ROMs be considered illegal?
Not if it's directly from the people that are distributing it.
I I don't know. I feel like that would be like something you'll have to explain. The thing is, not saying it like to be like to basically dumb it down, is that the courts are not going to look at it that way. Like you
No.
remember that court case that you know, like the court case about like Google, like knowing what you want to do, like what you want.
Hmm.
Like it was a whole court case of Google checking your email, and like the I believe the owner or whatever it was in Google, he was trying to explain like it does not check your email. It kind of just gives you it suggests stuff, and like it just suggests on your current like search history of what you're looking for. Like let's say I want to look up a dog or something like that,
Hmm.
and he was sitting there and explaining it to them, and it seemed like they were like so confused with what he was saying, and it was so simple. It was like 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people search this a day. We're giving you a suggestion of what you think, what we think you want.
Yeah.
And then like imagine them, a game company, explaining that to like the Supreme Court about it's not illegal, it's not stealing the game and putting it in in your console or
Well,
and checking to get
it's
information.
although I think any piece of law is can be a bit muddled sometimes. So like
Hmm.
you can't understand certain things, or some people could like twist certain words or interpret certain things in some ways where you know like the law just doesn't make any sense. But
Hmm.
from my understanding of all this is like let's say the PS1, for example, the PS1 classic mini bullshit thing.
Hmm.
Let's say they wanted to release more games out. Yes, they still
Yes.
have to grant, like by law, they still have to get in contact in some sort of way, or they have to get licensing in some sort of way of those previous games in order to
Hmm.
resell them again in the PS1 Classic Mini. Just like they're
Hmm.
doing with the, let's say, the PlayStation Plus Premium, because they're bringing in a lot more old PS1, PS2, PS3 games. They have to go back to these developers or the publishers or whoever it is that holds these rights, license them, and then resell them back in on the network,
Yep.
whether it be free or paid or whatever it may be. They still have to do licensing stuff. So
Yep.
there's still a lot of loopholes they still have to jump around, yes. But what I'm saying is that that's a missed opportunity to stick with what's already out there. If a lot
Yep.
of people already have the PS1 Classic Mini, you could have used it as an upgrade, like upgrade the software or stick a USB port into it and upload a bunch of ROMs that you bought directly from Sony.
But they wouldn't be. I feel like they won't. It's more like they're more concerned with money,
But that's
so
what I'm.
they would
But
rather.
that's what I'm
No,
saying though. So instead of
no, no, no.
instead of spending so much money manufacturing a whole new console again, why not just
Mhm.
sell the software and make money that way?
I, for them, for the business, I would say they would try to get as much money from it
But they're still
you know,
spending money too, though. They're
no, they're
spending, yes, they're
spending.
spending money to make money, sure. But
Yeah,
you can completely remove the middleman and get rid of all the manufacturing costs and just make money off the software.
I I agree with that, but the way that they would sell the software, I, selling software, I feel like it's not the easiest thing because it can always come back to bite you in a way. You know what I mean? Like they would sell the song. Let's say they had a catalog, right, of games that they pick. They only pick out of 100, they only pick like 10 or 15, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other ones are locked, and if somebody gets that software and then jailbreaks or like breaks into it, they can see the catalog and just unlock all the games that they were going to release with like a future update or something like that.
Not
That's
no, I don't think so. Unless you're some top notch hacker or something, that's not going to happen.
I
Because
don't.
if that was the
No,
case,
that's what I'm saying.
people will be hacking into the Sony network right now and playing all the games that haven't been released yet on the PS
But
Premium network.
that's what I'm saying. With software, you can do that. You can get it. You can get an idea of what they would have, and then they would have leaks of their future programs that they were releasing the PS1 mini, like just for the mini. Like if they want to release, like they don't release it on the premium or whatever, they'll release it on the mini, and it'll be like Legend of Dragoon, all 7 discs or whatever, and you can play it. You know what I mean? Like it would be like now they have to throw the game out, because not throw the game, but send it out as is because people already know about it, or whenever they decide to release it. I
That
feel like they
I
make
take that on. That's up to the studios. If they want to feel pressured
yeah,
and fuck
that's
things up, then that's on
yeah.
them.
But selling software, I feel like it's bad idea. Well, in my opinion, because I'm not really tech savvy like that, but I
Hmm.
feel like it would somehow come back and bite them. Even if I don't feel like you have to be so like super scientific or like the super like a computer hacker to figure this out. You could just be like, oh, they might release more games on it. We don't know when, but it's on the system. Because then it'll forever be on the system, and it will just be like December 10th, you get whatever games that come out this time, and then it's like it's just locked. It's not really like it's not. It's just locked away, not stored away that you have to wait for them to download into your system, and then that might take more space because you have to download that software, update the system, get all the games, make sure the
Well,
games
yeah, I
run
mean
well.
these mini consoles don't hold much memory space, anyways. But
Yeah.
I'm talking about if they originally released it, they could have easily
Oh
released
yeah,
it with
yeah,
like
yeah. No, no,
like a 2 gigabyte hard drive, for example, or some crazy,
yeah, or
whatever.
like a fucking not even 2 gig. Yeah, 2 gigabytes would have been more than enough
Yeah,
because then
on
they
like
can
a
utilize the space.
PlayStation or like a an SNES. Yeah, that would have
I
been more than enough.
I would say like more like fuck 10 would be good for like the amount of games that they could have released, and they could have made it like a paid thing. Like you pay like $60 for just the console and the base games, and you can pay like 80 for like all the games that are going to release like DLC or some, not even DLC, like just all the games that they're going to release in the future. But
Yeah, yeah.
you would have to
They could have done
sacrifice.
subscription service. Like they could
Yeah.
have done a subscription thing. You just pay like a monthly well, not really monthly, but maybe like an annual thing, and then every year whatever comes out is yours.
Yeah, but then they're already doing that with the premium, so
But
it would defeat
no,
the purpose.
granted, yes, but that's what I'm saying. That premium idea could have been implemented somewhere else, which is like
it
the
it
mini consoles, for
it could,
example.
or it could have been like every game that's on the premium you can play it on the mini, like they were linked somehow. You know what
Sure,
I mean?
sure.
Like
Yeah.
something like that. But I don't know. It would have been. I feel like it would have been more difficult to just update the system, especially with the limited hardware that it has, than just like release a new one.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if they release a mini Xbox Classic and a PS2, I would definitely get them. Even if they don't have the games I want, it's yeah, no, more
Maybe
so
the
the
PS2
Xbox.
for me. Maybe the PS2 for me. I was more of a
Maybe
Sony head back then than Xbox. I think more so
I would.
me now I'm kind of 50-50.
Nah, I would definitely get the Xbox because I have a original PlayStation 2, so like I'm fine with
Mm,
that. If I want to play something, I could just pop it on and
yeah,
enjoy that.
yeah.
But that's mainly for me. But yeah, I hope that more companies get involved in this uh mini thing. I hope, but then it's like if it's redundant, like they're just releasing games that they're releasing on one system or another, like the the 64 one would be like they would have Ocarina of Time, and then like PlayStation, I mean, Switch would have the Ocarina of Time and all that stuff. I'm like, why would I play it on the small system when I could just play it on my Switch,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have
Mm-hmm.
to do as much setup for it. You know what I mean? I have to plug the whole console in, get the controller, and then make sure I'm close enough that I don't yank the controller out or something like
Yeah.
that.
The small ass
It's just
cables.
comfortability for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, God damn it. But yeah, it's its own little. I feel like it's its own little thing. Like people would get it if they would really want to invest in that. But for me, a mini console, unless it's a console that I really want, I wouldn't get it. Personally speaking.
Mm-hmm. Same
So
here. Same here. If
yeah,
I don't plan, like I said it before, if I don't plan on actually playing it fairly often, there's no reason for me to get it. And like I
yeah,
try my best to play my mini consoles because I bought them because I need to
yeah.
use them. Like I bought them to be used in the first place, and
Hmm.
like if I feel even the littlest bit nostalgic, then I'll jump on my classic real quick and I'll play some like Siphon Filter or something, and then I'll jump on my SNES and probably play some Link to the Past maybe. Like
Yeah,
just even if it's just for like 30 minutes, like at least I'm using the freaking system.
yeah. For me, it's more so the games that I want to play is I feel like it doesn't pertain to it. It's more inconvenient for me than just doing it the way that I'm used to doing. Like let's say for example, I wanted to play Budokai 2, right? Like the Dragon Ball PlayStation 2 fighting game. And I wanted to download that. I mean, I wanted to play it. For me to be able to play it, I would have to get the HDMI adapter, the what is it? The AV adapter to HDMI, plug that into my TV, actually plug that into the capture card, then plug the capture card into the TV and to the computer. Make sure the system is running, and then make sure that it doesn't have the green flashes. You know, like back in the old days when
Yeah,
you don't plug the cables in right, that it just starts flashing green every so often.
yeah.
Make sure that doesn't happen. Make sure the AV cables are good,
You gotta
and
blow
make
your
sure the fucking
cartridge.
boxes. Yeah, and you got to blow the cartridge, even though it's a disc.
You gotta blow the disc too, and then you gotta blow the inside where like the lens is.
Yeah, and then you got to move the lens up and down to check if it's rotating.
Yes.
Bro, I'm telling you, everything that you just said, I did, and I hate myself
Yeah.
because it just made my
Right. I
system
could have
not work
broke my
even better.
system.
I broke my system. I broke my
Yeah.
fucking
I
my
I
first PS2.
remember. I don't know if you ever remember this or you ever tried this, but on the original PlayStation 1, you can hack your Dragon Ball GT game, like your import
Hmm.
GT game, if you
Hmm.
keep your disk drive open while the game
Hmm.
is playing. And the
Yeah.
only way to do that was you had to mess with like the button that tells the
Hmm.
system that the disk tray is closed. So you had to make it think that the disk tray is closed, but keep it open and then make it spin. And you had to do all this weird stuff where, like, maybe you had to, can't remember if you had to put the CD upside down first and then flip it back normal.
Man
There's
said flip
something
it.
like you had to do some crazy ass stuff in order to unlock all the characters or to be able to play the game in general. Because I think it was an NTSC version and only, sorry, and it was only a PAL version. And,
Mhm.
the American PS1 game system only played NTSC format.
Uh,
So like I think you had to like mess with it. I really don't remember anymore, but yeah, like you had to mess with the system. I thought it was funny.
but believe it or not, I know exactly what you're talking about because when I used to play the final bout, I used
Yeah,
to
that's what I'm talking about. GT Final Bout.
no. I'm saying when I used to play the final bout
Yeah.
is I used to I was wondering what the hell my brothers did to the game to have it play,
Yeah.
and then I never understood it, and I was like,
Uh
I don't know what the fuck he
yeah,
did.
they did
So
something.
I definitely know what you were talking about. Like
Yeah.
I left the tray open. I put the game in. I played. It was spinning. It said close the tray. I closed the tray. The game says it's not running. I open the tray. Let the game spin. I never played the game after that. But yeah, it's one of those nostalgic. That's a game I would never play. I'm sorry.
I had
My
fun
state
with it, even though I had no clue what I was doing.
fucking the rush shit, the thing that they just do the combo and
Yeah.
keep hitting. I'm like, bro, what is he hitting me with?
And then the
My
thing is
character.
that I wasn't even that deep of a fan of Dragon Ball yet. Like I had finished Dragon Ball's regular Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, but I had never really watched GT like that. So I was like, who's Vegito? Who's Baby? I don't know who Baby is, but he looked cool. And I was just
Believe it
like,
or
yo, who are these people?
believe it or not, when I watched GT at the time, I think I was because I had a brother that was very into Dragon Ball and One Piece, and now he's into like severely into One Piece, and he would always update me on the characters. Like he would explain to me who's Gogeta, and then
Mm-hmm.
we would watch the movie of like the Gogeta movie, or we'll watch the Broly movie, so I understand who's Broly, Kid Buu. Because I remember watching Dragon Ball Z, and then they usually stop before the Buu saga. They would stop right after Cell. Like after
Mm.
Gohan beats Cell, they would just be like, spoiler alert. After Gohan beats Cell, they would stop airing it, and then they would just do
They'll
like some
reset it
cuts. And
again.
yeah, and they would just be like, "Oh, you can watch the adventure from the beginning, and then you
Mm-hmm.
have to watch fucking Goku fight Vegeta for the first time
Which I
again."
find strange too, because they had I don't know, did they have Fat Boo in GT? But the thing is
No,
that Boo, the Majin Buu saga was still a Z saga, but
yeah,
they had Majin Buu in the GT game.
yeah, they had Kid Buu,
They had,
which I didn't understand, which
was
is
it
supposed to be
just
Buu.
Kid Buu?
Yes, it was just Kid Buu because it was Kid Buu, Cell, Frieza, um, Goku, Kid Goku, Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan Kid Goku,
For
Gohan.
Goku,
Yeah, it was like five Gokus, fucking Vegeta,
Vegito,
Gohan,
Gogeta.
Gogeta, Trunks, like three Trunks for no reason. There was
Yeah,
Trunks with the sword, Super Saiyan Trunks,
yeah.
and then Trunks in the space outfit. Pam. Fuck, there was a little bit
Oh
of people.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
that's
think
right. You could play
and I
as a
think
monkey
Goten.
baby, like
Yeah,
big giant baby for
yeah.
covered half the screen.
And it was unbalanced because if they fucking hit you, your character is like stunned for so goddamn long. It
Mm-hmm.
feels like it's a movie going on. You just beat the shit out of you. Um, but yeah, it was its own game, and for the life of me do not understand it. That's like the Jedi, the Star Wars fighting game. I forgot what the fuck it's called.
Oh, Masters of Terrakasi
Yeah,
or something like that,
yeah,
was it? Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I remember that.
I watched somebody play it, and I was like, I watched someone play it, and I was like, oh, this is a chess game. This is a fighting game.
Yeah,
What is
that was
happening? And
so
then it's like,
bad.
and they were like, I don't know what the fuck is going on the entire game. He was like, I beat the game, but I didn't know what the hell is happening. And he rated like the difficulty of getting to like the final fight, and he marked it like a 8 out of 10. And I was like, it sounds about right. The controls work against you. But
uh,
yeah, yeah, it was fucking Final Bout was a fun game. I saw
mm-hmm.
somebody play Urban Rage, which is a PS2 game. It
I don't
was
know what that
made
is.
okay. So it was a game made by Bandai Namco or associated with Bandai Namco that had martial law and Paul in it.
Mm.
Don't ask me why they're in the game. I don't fucking know. I think it's just Bandai. They were just like,
They
yeah,
just
just
wanted
throw
to
these two
spin off
characters.
stuff.
Yeah. So the game is like, how the fuck do I describe it? It's like a wrestling. It's like Raw versus SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but it's like an arena brawler that's
Oh,
a
like
single
Power
player.
Stone ish, right? Those you think,
Yeah.
or like
So
Air
the thing is,
Geese maybe?
now I would say more so. What is a fighting game? Like, what is a game? Is Power Stone? Can you hit backwards? Like, can you throw like a back punch, or does your character turn around and hit?
I don't think so. I think you have to physically turn around.
So it was like they had combat. It wasn't a not an arena RPG game, I guess, something like that. Because you
Uh-huh.
can hit backwards, your moves change while you're hitting. Like when you turn around, your back is towards the character,
Mm.
the enemy. So it was like that. You can grab people, you can slam them, you can grab them on the floor and keep them there. But then there was also reversals, and it was like it had the same, I would say, blurry white filter when you counter a grab or an attack that your character turns white, and then it's like they move out the way and then they counter as whatever. But it was that type of game that made me enjoy wrestle like stomach wrestling after a while, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I did get tired of watching wrestling, like people getting suplex fucking 13 stories up, 13 feet up or whatever, and it was like that. But when I seen it, I was like, man, this game is fucking cool. And then you start playing the game and you're like, this game is unbalanced as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Characters just hit people and this is like PS2 hard. So like PS2 hard is normal. And you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna beat my first fight with no problem. Get absolutely fucking stomped out by
Most
the
of the
base
time, it's just
enemy.
because the game is just broken.
Ah, yeah. Let me hit you 3 times and your character's at 5% health.
Yeah.
I asked for all of this.
All right. So we're gonna end this right here. We're running
All right.
on an hour 45 minutes. So hopefully I could lower this down a bit once I start editing and stuff. But thanks for everyone who's joining us in the stream. Thanks for everyone who's listening to us on the audio version. Don't forget that we are gonna have an inconsistent release schedule right now for the content as we're changing our content in the future. But if you guys are interested in listening to any of our older episodes, plus any game reviews that I do for the Coalition, go to gamerguardians.net for all the information about us section. I even got links to Boneless Bones' Twitch channel as well whenever he does any streaming. And I think your Twitter's on there as well.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
Appreciate it.
check that out, and we'll see you guys soon.
All right. See you guys soon.
Laters.
Later.